Hello guys, welcome to my channel. So I bring this gist for you guys. A guy was saying black people, they should say one nice thing about white. So there was teach up and down. Then I said, okay, let me add it together and bring it for you guys. Don't forget to like, comment and share.
Black people, say one nice thing about white people.
Stop making these memes. They are annoying. And I don't care what white people think about black people. We don't need white people's praise, acknowledgement, or validation. We just don't. Why can't we trust in our own brilliance? Why can't we seek validation from each other? Why can't we seek affirmation from each other? We are beautiful, black people. We are amazing. We are brilliant. Our humor is unparalleled. We are able to poke fun of ourselves and each other. We don't need white people's help. And we definitely don't need their racist gaze. You're enough, black people. You are enough.
Like all people, they're capable of loving, being noble, kind-hearted, caring, and, yeah, everything else. Culture-wise, they can be amazing at showing things like Southern hospitality. I once got cussed out in North Carolina by someone white, and it was like the nicest cuss out I've ever had in my life. He was like, "We don't take kindly to negative tone." And despite racial differences, inequities, most white people hate racism and discrimination against minorities as much as black people do. I remember starting a march organized by Martin Luther King, Selma, where they were, where a lot of beatings and arrests and all kinds of negative stuff happened. And it happened to air on TV, which was a rarity. And a lot of white people were outraged by the abuse that they had to take on the hands of police and other racists. It's extremely easy to say something nice about white people, because white people, like all people, have good and bad about them, but I feel the good outweighs the bad. I have to have hope and faith that the good outweighs the bad, because I am positive towards humanity. But let's be clear. We still live in a system that favors white people. We still live in a system that is racially in favor of them. So when a white person asks me to say something nice about white people, it's triggering. But I can do it. It's easy. That's all.
When you get drunk with a white person, you instantly become family. And them motherfuckers will go to war for you, boy.
The fact that y'all never whoop y'all kids' ass, that's just amazing to me. That's great. But y'all whooped up. Wait. What?
He gave us Hosier, and honestly, I can't find any fault in that. I have this man's lyrics tattooed onto my body permanently.
When they own people step out of line and try to get cute, they the first to jump down their throat. So when I worked at Dollar Tree, I had this boss who absolutely loved her, loved closing with her. She was like technically our closing boss. We also had this regular who used to come in every day. She was 79. She didn't give no fucks about life at all. She knew when she turned 80, it was about her. She didn't give a fuck about her husband was dead. She didn't give a fuck about her kids and nothing else. Her words, not mine. Both white women, if that's not obvious. This one particular night, this man comes in 2 hours before we close, and he walks around the store, picks up his stuff, comes to the front of the store. He sees my boss. He waves her over. He goes, "I'm not checking out with this ninja." Let me tell y'all, I was 19 and mature, but the way these two white women jumped to my defense and dog walked this man with their words and put him out the store, I just stood there and was like, so who's next?
I won't call it nice, but I will call it impressive. After all the years of mass incarceration and slavery, you've actually convinced our people now that y'all are the victims, that reverse racism is real, that we have the power to oppress y'all like y'all did us. I gotta give it to y'all. Y'all kind of snapped. Now don't get carried away. This is obviously sarcasm. But again, it's still impressive that y'all have literally mastered our minds. Y'all hit that whoa or put BLM in your bio, and now everybody and mama is saying, how can we not accept them? Y'all have mastered doing the bare minimum. You've mastered manipulation and gaslighting black people. You've even mastered getting our own to be yelling at each other instead of being mad at the true problem, which is racism. I don't know, man. Y'all was in them writing rooms like, how can we make them become more dependent on us? How can we get them to turn against each other even though we're doing it to them? How can we convince them we have no power even though we run the world? Impressive.
Y'all take really good care of your animals. Like, in the next life or something, I wouldn't mind being owned by... No, never mind. Never mind. We're going to cut it.
One nice thing about white people. Okay, I don't get the point of this video. Like, it don't make sense to me. No, dumbass, actually say something nice. Oh, what's it? Well, y'all good at scuba diving, but like, bitch, he wasn't specific. Like,
They are organized as fuck, man. I used to have a successful dog walking and pet sitting business, true as a clock, you guys. 97% of my clients were white. Every time I got to the house, man, the check was laying right there, never late, with a nice little note. Hi, Jay. Thanks so much for watching Bruno and Teddy. We really appreciate it. If you need anything, you can reach my husband at work, and you can call my cell phone in case of an emergency. Bruno's collar is blue, Teddy's collar is green. The leashes are hanging up at the back door, and they both have their medication in a cabinet. Bruno gets a half a tablet for his heart. Teddy gets 2 tablets for allergies. And help yourself to whatever's in the refrigerator. And if anything pops up and you need any questions, please reach out.
White people are like iPhones. Each generation is better than the last. The first generation was crap, the worst thing imaginable. Colonialism, slavery, it was cancer on earth. Thank God it was discontinued. Overall, if you compare the original white person to the one we have now, it's just a much better model. And by much better, I mean it's actually a decent model and not a genocidal maniac. Now, as with any product that is being mass-produced, there are some bad copies. There are some deplorables out there. Hey, factories produce millions of these things. A couple of the copies are going to be defective. And sometimes these defective copies might actually get elected to presidencies and talk about making iPhones great again. Point is, iPhones have never been better than they are today. So good, you might even want to take one home yourself.
Man, let's stop going off of color and start going off of like actions, you feel me? But one good thing about white people is, man, they gonna help you when you need it. And see, one thing about us people, our people, black folks, we be thinking all white folks is bad, but they not. They down to help you before your own peoples will. But I just don't like to go off of color too much, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of getting old. Let's start going by people's actions. Let's just say, what's one good thing most people are good at in general? How about that? Because everything ain't based off of color, man. It seems like that's what the world wants us to be. Separated, divided. That's what the news wants. Seems like that's what TikTok wants. Let's go by actions and not color of their skins and stuff, man. Roll Tide, baby. Southern boy.
Hey, when it comes to decorations, y'all win. Y'all will hang anything from a tree.
The fuck everybody looking at me for? Okay. Look, give me a minute. Let me think. Let me see. I got it. Scarlett Johansson.
Black people and white people are one people.
White people do an amazing job at making anything look like a good time. Some of you all wake up and choose to live in vans. You just wake up one day and you're like, that house was fun. Time to be a van person. And then you identify as Van Guy 24 for the rest of your life. And you make it seem fun. Your van breaks down every couple of weeks and you're on the side of the road. You're fixing your van. You're looking at your TikToks. You're going like, van life, am I right? And thumbs up. And you're like, everything's okay in my van life world. And people told you can't live in a van. Your van's going to fail constantly. And you're like, I'm white. You can't tell me what to do. I'll live in this van and it'll be the best time of my life. Look, my roommate is happy and your roommate's a chicken because you're like, I can sustain my whole existence on nothing but eggs. And I don't care about my cholesterol level. I don't believe my doctor one goddamn bit. And somehow you make it seem fun. I don't know if it is or isn't, but you all make it.
All of them aren't racist. It's white people that love black people just as much as they will love anybody else. It's also doctors and nurses that's fighting to save black people's lives just like they would save anybody else's life. In the court system, it's judges and lawyers that want to get black people off just like they would get anybody else off. And it's also police officers that's protecting and serving black people just like they would protect and serve everybody else. All white people aren't racist.
Okay, you cannot say that white people can't bake. You can't. Cooking? That's a different story. But Rebecca, oh my God, she can make some desserts. Don't play with them when it comes to baking. You just can't. I'll give them that.
If you ain't got yourself a white friend, you better get one, because they will help you when shit get real. I'll tell you that.
They adopted me.
One nice thing is that I can take a white person to all of my doctor's appointments and be treated with respect and decency and get the things that I need. Black women are at the mercy of the U.S. healthcare system, and although we can't prove that we're being discounted or denied, we always have a nagging feeling. I'm lucky that I can take my partner to all of my appointments, and he stands up for me, and he makes sure that I'm treated well. Not everyone has that option.
White people are consistent. They like to pay for shit, but then of course they go tell everybody they did it. So I don't really know if it's that nice or if it's just some self-serving, they look like they doing some charity. But yeah, they like to pay for shit.
If it wasn't for white people, there would be no adopted damaged pets. We not adopting no three-legged dogs, no one-eyed rabbits. I appreciate you, Rebecca.
Not all white people are racist, and there are some white people who have good hearts and are good people. When I was homeless in 2018 and 2019, there were white people who would come down with care packages, food, and other items that we needed. I remember in the summer of 2019, there was a group of people from a church from a suburb, and they would come down to my hometown to a park where homeless people would hang out. Now, I didn't hang out at the park, but once I found out that they were feeding people, I went to the park, and the people were kind, they were nice, they shook our hands. We were treated with respect and dignity. And the food was good. They came once a week, every week during the whole summer. And I really appreciated the food because oftentimes we're hungry as homeless people. We don't always know where our next meal is coming from. And so, yes, there are good white people out there.